Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to the next video on the channel. And we are ranking all the Zelda games. So I headed over quickly to Tier List Maker just to go ahead and do one of these videos. I did this one also for Mario. I will link the Mario Tier List games uh, video. I'll have that linked in the description, and I'll have like a little card at the top right of the screen, so you guys should have probably seen that by now. So I'll have that up for those of you guys who didn't get to see that. But I wanted to go ahead and do this video because I thought this would be really cool to have to think about, because Tears of the Kingdom comes out in like 3 weeks, and we are going to be playing that on the channel. I didn't finish Breath of the Wild on the channel, but we are most definitely going to be doing Tears of the Kingdom. I'm going to get into more how I'm going to be playing that game on the channel when it actually releases. But for now, let's just focus on the main, and that is ranking all the Zelda games. So, first off, we have The Legend of Zelda. This was the very first game in the franchise, and I'm pretty much going to be ranking the games off of not how they did popularity wise and review wise, but pretty much what these games mean to me, how much I liked them, and the memories I have with these games. So for the first Zelda game, I am going to probably put this in B tier. Now let me explain why. So pretty much this is the first Zelda game. It set a really high standard for games to follow that were in this sort of open world explorer style type of gameplay. Um, it. I feel like this game is really good and it does a really good job for what it intends to do. And I just feel like over time this game hasn't really aged the best, to be honest. But I do feel like for what it did or what it tried to do, well, I shouldn't say what for what it tried to do, because it did do what it wanted to do very, very well for its time. And yeah, I just feel like it's not the best. It's not the best. Like I said, it doesn't hold up, but it's not bad either. It still does what it needs to do, and it is an overall solid game, even to this day. I don't want to say one of the best, but I still find it to be pretty solid, even though this game is a challenge. And I do like that about Zelda games being a challenge. Next, we're going to get into uh, Zelda 2. Speaking of challenges, this game I would also have to put it in most likely B tier. I might put it in. No, I would probably put this game low B tier, just because of the fact that I think it takes away. It tries to bring over what made the first Zelda game so good, but also adds new things that felt unnecessary. I feel like the whole 2D sections and all that, and entering certain areas in 2D, but the overall world is like top down, sort of open world. Um, I just felt like the 2D was kind of unnecessary, and they should have just stuck with the original elements of the top down from the first game. But overall, this game it's okay. I don't think it's horrible. I think it needs more credit, honestly. But the game it has its issues. I feel like they made it a little too difficult. I love a challenge. Do not get me wrong. I do love a challenge, but I feel like the game can be a little too difficult at times and quite unfair, honestly, from what I remember. But maybe that's just the nostalgia talking, because I played this game a very long time ago, and maybe it is time for a replay. I don't know. Now, as you can see here, uh, I'm just gonna show you guys real quick. The PNGs for these images are not in the best quality, so like these games I can obviously tell what they are, but these ones it took me a second. So this is A Link to the Past, Link's Awakening, and Link's Awakening DX. So A Link to the Past, I share a very fond memories with this game because this was my first Zelda game actually, and I have played this game like I've played this game at least 8 or 10 times. I love this Zelda game so much, and honestly, I feel like it goes in S tier because feel like Nintendo heard the complaints people had about Zelda 2 and originally went back to the formula for Zelda 1, and then took this formula, put it into Link to the Past, and just took everything about it and just upped it and made it so much more better. The sprites are better, the animations are better, the colors, like the story is so good and feels fleshed out even for its time. And I just feel like it's really good. It's a really good experience. Even today, this is in like little bit of spoilers. But even today, this is like in my top 3 Zelda games. I feel like, but who knows? Maybe by the time we finish this list, maybe that'll change. But I don't know. Anyways, moving on, we have Awakening. I feel like Link's Awakening is a pretty solid game. I do feel like, again, a lot of these early Zelda games for like the NES, SNES, Game Boy Color, all Game Boy Advance, all those games, they play very, very, very similarly and share a very basic formula. Um, so I feel like Link's Awakening. I'd probably put this in like probably high B tier, honestly. Link's Awakening DX, same game. It's just ported over to the Game Boy Color. I think it is right. Game Boy Color. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong on that. But again, it's pretty much Link's Awakening, but it's an updated version with color and all that stuff, and it just visually looks better. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in A tier. I feel like the black and white for this game kind of made it hard to play as a kid. I still loved it, but it just made it difficult to play. DX version was definitely needed in my opinion, and it just looks fantastic. Now we're moving on to what we have here, Four Swords. Now let me check down here just to make sure Four Swords. Yeah, Four Swords is right here. I'm not gonna count this because this was like a pack of Link's Awakening and Four Swords into one game. So we're actually gonna come over here, grab Four Swords. I'll bring it up here. Now, Four Swords was a game very, very, very similarly styled to The Legend of Zelda Minish Cap. Um, Now, the thing is about this game that was interesting is it took the basic Zelda formulas, sorry, and everything that made Zelda great, and pretty much added multiplayer to that. Now, the downside is to this though, I feel like, well, let me talk about the ups first. Uh, it adds new things. The colors look wonderful. The story is pretty solid from what I remember actually. Um, but the and I mean you can play with 4 people, 4 links in one adventure was actually really 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 cool concept to me as a child. And it still is to this day. But I feel like the only negative with this game is if you really didn't have if you really didn't have the friends, I guess, to be able to play this game, then you'd just be missing out. And I'm pretty sure you can't play this game without having 3 other friends, which is unfortunate because not everyone has a friend group of they can just grab 3 other friends and be like, hey, let's hop on the game. I mean, nowadays it's definitely easier. I feel like because games are more forgiving with couch co-op and online play and all that, but or couch co-op and local play, I should say. But yeah, back then I don't really feel like I feel like it may have been easy, but not as easy as it is today. So just because of the multiplayer like hinge, I guess that kind of holds it back. Um, yeah, I'm probably gonna just go ahead and put this in C tier. Again, it's not a bad game. It's just the fact that the multiplayer that you have to play this game multiplayer holds it back. Just in my opinion, I have to state that out. This is just my opinion. Anyone else is more than welcome to share their own opinions in the comments. Okay, now Ocarina of Time. Um, this game I know is extremely popular and probably the most popular Zelda game. Honestly, I know this is where a lot of people got into Zelda. It's such an iconic and classic game. This was my first 3D Zelda. I played this right after I played A Link to the Past. I played this. This was my second Zelda game. I still enjoyed Link to the Past more than Ocarina of Time. Um, and I feel like for a while it was more so because Link to the Past was my first Zelda game. But Ocarina of Time, it's a really 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 good fleshed out 3D adventure for the N64. But just for me, I feel like Link to the Past is just always gonna have that, I don't know, something more that I can appreciate. Like I appreciate both games, but A Link to the Past honestly just hits very very different in my opinion. Honestly, um, that's just me though. But anyways, we have Majora's Mask, and I'm gonna put Majora's Mask below. Um, I'm gonna put it below these games here. I feel like A tier. Um, I don't know. I feel like maybe high B tier. Honestly, I feel like Ocarina of Time is better because it was more. It wasn't necessarily linear, but it was at the same time. Like Majora's Mask, you really have to do a lot of backtracking in that game. If that makes, for those of you who've played, I don't want to say backtracking is maybe the correct term. It's a very close term, but maybe not correct. For those who played, you know what I mean by when I say backtracking. For those who haven't, there's pretty much a time mechanic to where Link has 3 days to pretty much stop the world from ending. And you're not going to be able to do everything in all 3 days. Maybe speedrunners, you know how to do all that stuff, but a casual Zelda player like me, you most definitely will not know how to do everything in 3 days. So this leaves the option with, having to reset your days, go back in time pretty much. And with that, you do lose things like how many bombs you're holding, how many arrows you're holding, I believe, and how many rupees. So you do have to end up farming some things back because technically, while you do still keep items like bombs, arrows, all that stuff, bomb shoes, you do lose how many you have. So it's not horrible because you don't lose everything, but it does still kind of make certain things a chore. And then on top of that, getting all the masks isn't necessarily easy. You do have to do a lot of, again, backtracking. I use that very very loosely in this game because you can only grab like only so many masks in a 3 day cycle. So just because of that, Majora's Mask is still an excellent game, and I feel like like controls and everything are pretty similar to Ocarina of Time. Actually, very similar. But they did polish and brush up a few things. But I just feel like personally for me, just because of the whole 3 day reset mechanic, I still have trouble picking up and playing that game at times. Like I'll look at Majora's Mask and think, this is an excellent game, but like once I 100% complete this, I'm not gonna want to touch it again just because it was just so much to do. It was just so much. It kind of felt overwhelming at times, but I don't know. We're gonna go ahead and put it in a high B tier though. Not better than Ocarina of Time in my opinion, but it's still good. Now Oracle of Ages and Seasons. I am going to actually have to leave these out. Hold on, we're gonna add a row. Add a row below. Boop. Okay. Have not played. Cause yeah, I actually um I had a Game Boy and a Game Boy Advance. Well, I had a Game Boy Color and a Game Boy Advance. I never had the OG Game Boy, but these are probably the two Zelda. There are very 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 few Zelda games I have not played. I played just about all of them, but these two I have not played. Unfortunately, I know they follow pretty closely to the Link's Awakening style of gameplay, which is very interesting to me. I do still want to check these games out. I have watched YouTubers do Let's Play on them. I never watched the full game, but I have seen a couple of videos on it very long ago. I'll have to definitely play these games someday. So to those who are a little disappointed, I'm not ranking these games. I'm sorry, I just haven't played them before. But let me know where you would place them and how much you like these games. Now, we have The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. This is this was, I guess, my favorite Zelda game for a long, long, long time. And honestly, it still is. It still is. I love like the aesthetic of, the cartoony style, but still the serious tones to it. Um, at times it was very, very, very lighthearted and just a fun adventure, and other times it was like uh, pretty dark actually for the style of game it is. But I don't know. I just love Toon Link. For those who know, for those who don't know, I like Toon Link over normal Link, I guess you could say, and Young Link. Toon Link is my favorite variation of Link. Uh, I don't know. I just like his art style in the games. I just feel like it's very, very, very easy to look at, and it's really appealing, in my opinion. I don't know. I just really enjoy like the open world aspect. Like this, I'm pretty sure Wind Waker was the biggest Zelda game map wise until Breath of the Wild released. So I don't know. It just made things feel a lot more open. I'd say my only gripe with Wind Waker is just In the OG version, okay, there's a lot of water in Wind Waker, and in the OG version, you would have to just sail normally to get there, and keep changing the wind and all that stuff to get yourself to island from island to island. In the HD port though to the Wii U, they did give you a new type of sailcloth that you can obtain that lets you, get a burst of speed no matter which way the wind is flowing, which is a really nice addition, which was needed. Um, but that's like my only issue with the game was the OG version. But anyway, that was updated in the HD version, which is why I have very little problems with this game, or none really. So looking at the next Zelda game, we have Minish Cap. Minish Cap, I do highly enjoy. Um, this was another one of the early Zelda games I played. This is probably like in maybe like the fourth Zelda game I played, maybe like third or fourth, I believe. Because back then, again, I didn't have those consoles because I was a kid, and I didn't have a job, I wasn't working, so I didn't have money. So the only time I'd really get things is when if I caught my parents on a good day, or if it was my birthday or it was Christmas. Um, so a lot of these games I did play emulators on, like A Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask emulator I didn't play much because it kept crashing. I didn't get to actually fully experience Majora's Mask until I got it on the 3DS. But anyways, Minish Cap. Again, I love the top-down style of Zelda. I absolutely love it. Not probably not more than the 3D style, but I do still like it a lot. And then plus that was mixed in with the Toon style, which is my favorite. Um, so yeah, I do think the game is really good. It's not as long as other Zelda games, but I wouldn't say it's exactly short. Oh, well, I guess it's short for a Zelda game, but either way, I do still love playing this game even till this day. I actually do need to work on that on the Switch. And I have thought about playing this on the Switch for a Let's Play because it's been so long since I played. And on top of that, I just want to replay a Toon Link game so bad right now. Um, but anyways, I'm probably not gonna put it above Ocarina of Time, but I will probably place it here above Minish Cap, honestly. Or not above Minish Cap, but Link's Awakening DX. Okay, Twilight Princess. This is a Zelda game that I have gotten pretty decently. Oops, sorry, get that out of the way. Pretty decently far in, but I've never actually completed. The rest of the game I have seen through YouTube videos and walkthroughs. However, um, I'm still going to count this though as ranking it, just because I did get a good amount of experience and playtime in this game. I really do like Twilight Princess. I feel like the whole I like the tone of the world being really dark, and I know they made Twilight Princess dark because people really did not like the style of Wind Waker after that released, and so Nintendo, I guess, wanted to make Zelda dark again and more appealing, I guess, for the other fans. But anyways, this game I think is really good. I do like it a lot. Probably not more than Ocarina of Time, but definitely more than Link's Awakening, and probably not more than Minish Cap. However, I know that's probably gonna upset people because I do know that people absolutely adore Twilight Princess. Whenever I do have like Zelda talk online, I know people always say either Breath of the Wild is their favorite, Ocarina of Time is their favorite, or Twilight Princess. So people are probably going to be a little annoyed by that one, but honestly, I don't care. This is my opinion. Again, you can go make your own tier list video, all that good stuff. Phantom Hourglass. Phantom Hourglass gets a lot of flack. It was the first Zelda game on the DS, I believe, and it utilized the touchscreen, the two screens, and you pretty much use your stylus to control Link. I actually do enjoy this game. The fact that they brought a sequel of Wind Waker over to, you know, handheld console, which was really cool in my opinion. Looking back at it now, as old as I am now, I do wish they waited to bring the Wind Waker sequel to another home console instead of just bringing it out on a portable console, so it would look better and play better. My only gripe with this game is the controls. For those who know, But for those who don't know, you use a stylus to pretty much control Link, all of Link's actions actually. And your top screen pretty much works as a map, while your bottom screen is your main focus of controlling Link and fighting enemies and all that. I would probably actually have to put this in B tier, but high B tier probably. Well, actually, let me think about that. Actually, I would probably put this in like high C tier, honestly. Again, I love Toon Link, and I actually do enjoy Phantom Hourglass. It's just comparing it to other Zelda games, it's like, yes, they do a lot of things similarly, but I just can't get behind the controls, all that. And after a certain amount of time, it's like, okay, I'm tired of playing this because of the controls. And then I'll pick it back up again, and I'm tired of it, and I'll pick it up again. And it's just rinse and repeat until I beat the game, I guess. Spirit Tracks, same exact way. You know, it's pretty much the same style of gameplay. Um, so I would only take it down because I really didn't like the train mechanics that much. So I'd probably put it in D tier. Again, because I put a Zelda game in D tier doesn't mean it's a bad game, in my opinion. I just think it's not as good compared to like these games. And then we have Ocarina of Time, 3DS. I might as well go ahead and include this because I did include Link's Awakening DX. Ocarina of Time 3DS. That goes in S tier. They did a very good job porting this game, and I'm surprised it looks as good as it does, honestly, on a portable console. I know the 3DS is more enhanced than the regular DS, but even still, like the 3DS does have its limitations, and what they were able to do with this port, 3D port at that, I guess you can call it, it's really impressive, honestly, and I have a lot of respect for them. For presenting this game to be what it was when it released. And even today, it still looks amazing. I'm actually playing it right now on my own free time. Skyward Sword. Skyward Sword. Gosh, I'm actually playing this game in my free time too, but I'm I'm actually pretty far into the story. I think I'm like 80. I'd say like I'm like 75 to 80% done with the game, story wise, not including like side quests, crap, and all that. I do enjoy this game. I just feel like the controls are probably my biggest issue. I'm not a huge fan of motion controls at all. For anyone that knows, I despise them. There's only so many games. Like there are very few games to where I'm like, okay, I can play this because I actually enjoy the motion controls. Everything else outside those games, I hate it and it sucks. I'm sorry. Doesn't mean this is a bad game. Again, it's just one of those games I feel like that's kind of hindered by the controls a little bit. So, which is why it will probably go in high B tier, honestly. And then, all right, we have Link's, or not Link's Awakening. I almost said Link's Awakening. Wow, that's crazy. Um, uh, what is it called? Wind Waker HD. I don't know why it took me so long to get that out. That's definitely. I'll actually probably put this back. Again, these are the exact same games. The graphics are just updated, and they added the new sailcloth that makes it much, much, much easier to get around the different islands once you unlock that uh, sailcloth. So yeah, Link Between Worlds. Link Between Worlds was one of my early Zelda games as well. I really do enjoy this game, and the reason I enjoyed this game so much is because it was pretty much it was a sequel, but it wasn't at the same time to Link's A Link Between Worlds, and the fact that like I feel like they did that on purpose, not to just give us another top-down Zelda game, but to actually do that on purpose, pretty much. But I enjoyed everything about this game. Again, it was pretty much just Link's Awakening, but in HD, technically in a way. So yes. But the thing is, though, I do enjoy the nostalgic feel or look, I guess, to Link's Awake, or I keep saying Link's Awakening, A Link Between Worlds. Don't get me wrong; they're both very, very good, but still, it's just something about Link to the Past that I really like. Now, Majora's Mask 3D, I give it the same treatment pretty much as I did with Ocarina of Time 3D and Wind Waker HD. Again, I think it does a very, very, very good job. So I'm going to put this here. Let me move these around a bit, actually. And I'll probably put this here and then put that there, honestly. Yeah, like that. I definitely probably do it like that. Triforce Heroes. I'm gonna put this game in C tier, and right off the bat, let me just tell you, it follows the formula of like a Link Between Worlds and that top-down style of like Minish Cap and A Link to the Past and Link's Awakening. But it's Toon Link, and I love Toon Link. But my biggest gripe with this game is that when it released, again, it's just like Four Swords. Um, only reason I would actually put this over Four Swords is because for this you didn't need four players, you needed three, which I guess kind of lessens the blow, if that makes sense. But I just feel like that's a little better, in my opinion. Also, it's better than Phantom Hourglass. I feel because the controls are actually good. But still, it's just the fact of, having to have two other people, have other players to be able to fully enjoy the game to its maximum potential, just really hinders it. Like as much as I say I do want them to port this game, um, you know, I do still want them to bring this game over. I just feel like at the time, it I don't know, it just didn't really feel amazing. There was an online multiplayer system for this game, which was good, which was pretty good if you didn't have friends to play with. But even that still hinders it because for one, you either have people who are trolling, two people who are AFK, or three, um, you were all trying to beat it, but you were not able to because you weren't able to communicate. I mean, yes, you can communicate, but it's not as good as sitting down with your friends in the same room, actually talking to each other or talking over the phone. It still makes communication multiplayer gameplay kind of difficult. And then now we have Twilight Princess HD. Um, I just go ahead and put that over Twilight, the OG Twilight Princess. Then we have Breath of the Wild. My love. I'm gonna put this. Yeah, I'd probably put it here, like my third favorite Zelda game. Honestly, Breath of the Wild is really really fun experience. The reason I like this game so much is because it pretty much feels like Zelda One, the very first Zelda game, except in 3D and updated graphics and voice acting. I actually didn't find out until recently that there are a handful of people out there who despise the voice acting for this game, and I honestly don't think it was that bad. I don't think it's the best, but I don't think it's bad either. Everything else, like the voice acting being okay for this game, is nowhere near enough for to make it a bad game. Like there's just so many things done right in Breath of the Wild. It really makes it hard to complain about things. The one problem I do have with Breath of the Wild is the frame rate slows down occasionally for me. It's like they really pushed the Switch's maximum potential with Breath of the Wild, but because they did so, there were times where the game would slow down for me. I didn't really have an issue with pop ins. I feel like they do a very good job with that. But yeah, I don't know. Just seeing the game slow down like every 10 minutes for me while I was running through Hyrule Field or fighting lots of enemies or just fighting a boss or going through a dungeon. I don't know. It just kind of took me out of the experience and unimmersed me for a bit. Unimmersed, is that a word? I don't even know. But then I was able to hop back in right after said incident happened. But it is something that still occurs to me on my gameplay experience. I don't know if that's just me because I don't see a lot of people complain about it. I do see people complaining about it, but just not many people. But yeah, that's like just my only problem with Breath of the Wild. I just feel like for Tears of the Kingdom, I really, really hope they fix that because the game slowing down at points for me while I was running through Hyrule was really, really irritating because I feel like for the game I was playing, there's no way it should be doing that. But regardless, Breath of the Wild is still an amazing game. Now, Link's Awakening. Yes, the HD port. Um, I'm definitely gonna have to put this in. Let's see. I'd probably put it like here. I do think the game. I love the art style of the game. It's more of a cartoony style. It's not exactly Toon style because this game wasn't originally for Toon Link, but it still has that like cartoony style. And the graphics for this game are actually outstanding. Like, I did not expect them to pop off this hard for a Link's Awakening remake. It looks very good. It controls very well. There are updated things in the game that make it feel nice, and it's just a very, very, very good example of what it means to take an old game and bring it to the current gen consoles. I feel like. Then we have Skyward Sword HD. I'm gonna be going ahead and putting this above Skyward Sword because if anything, I feel like the game runs better because it's on the Switch. I still don't really mess with the motion controls for this game, so that's why it's still so low. Or and that's not so low, but kind of mid tier. So yeah, and then Tears of the Kingdom I cannot rank yet, but I already know it's gonna go like right here probably, or even right here, or maybe right here. I don't know, but I can't rank it. Oh shit, where'd it go? But I can't rank it yet because it's not even out. I did pre-order the game though, so I'm extremely excited for that. But, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, this is my Zelda tier list. As you can see, Wind Waker is my favorite Zelda game, followed by A Link to the Past and Breath of the Wild. I'm very excited for Tears of the Kingdom. We are definitely going to be playing that on the channel when it releases. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm definitely ready to pop out more of these tier list videos. I already have some more planned in mind, but if there are any specifically you'd love to see me do, please let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it a lot. We're trying to hit 350 subs by the end of this year. That is my current sub goal, and I hope y'all have a great day. Peace.